Welcome back to the Echo Chamber Podcast, the only podcast where two comedians read the Wall Street Journal because one of us gets it for free from work. And Trent, shall we go through the stories we are going to be covering today on the podcast?
Well, Joe, I would love nothing more.
I think I'll kick us off because you have two.
I have two.
And I've got three.
Yes.
Well, our first story on the podcast today, no, not that Gaza, how U.S. baffled Mozambique. They cut off millions and millions of dollars of aid because there was a place called Gaza in this country in Africa.
Good God.
And now they're all like going to perish.
Jesus Christ. We live in abject hell.
We're going to be covering that.
Well, Joe, drama brews after Starbucks baristas doodling on cups.
Oh, what are they?
You can't please
What
anybody.
are they drawing cocks on cups?
No,
We'll
animals, cute animals.
How can anyone possibly be mad over that? We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Well, have fun on spring break, kids. I'll be right next door. That's right, Trent. Parents are going with their kids to Mexico for spring break this year.
Jesus Christ. Never let them leave your sight.
Never let them leave. Never let them do anything on their own.
Well, speaking of children, Joe, and my final story, it's a bit of a long one. Elon Musk, he's got a whole harem of ladies who he's impregnating.
Jesus Christ.
It's kind of a real nightmare.
How many kids does he have?
Nobody knows.
One of them's named like X-Wing 25 or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Trent, our final story for the podcast, what happens next after the death of a pope? We'll go through it. There's a lot more to the process than I was aware of.
Well, somebody didn't watch Conclave. I know all about it.
You know, there's some interesting traditions in here. So
All that and more on Echo Chamber. Yeah, I was talking to this guy last week, and he brought up that show Daredevil, so I'm already not interested in anything. You could possibly say.
Marvel's, you mean the blind lawyer?
Yes,
crime fighter.
Yes, played in the movie by Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck,
and he apparently has a TV show.
He's now Odysseus. But that's Matt Damon. I mix them up pretty often.
Anyway, there's a TV show now. Apparently, it used to be on Netflix. Now it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, who gives a fuck? That's what I say. But anyway, so he brings this show up. I already know. I have no interest. I've already tuned him out.
Don't care about Daredevil.
Couldn't care about Daredevil.
Don't care about Kingpin.
No, Kingpin.
Or Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Bullseye, I have a little bit of interest.
Bullseye is kind of cool.
I have a small natural interest in Bullseye.
I have a small. I mean, I'm only human.
I want to know what Bullseye does.
Elektra, who gives a fuck? Elektra,
no. Get out of here with Elektra.
Any of those people. But he's a blind superhero, you know. But anyway, so apparently it used to be on a show on Netflix. Now it's on Disney Plus. I don't know who plays Daredevil, but apparently there's another actor. And this guy was talking about this actor. His name's John Bernthal. Okay,
John Bernthal.
So this guy, he's talking about Daredevil. He goes, I really like that actor, John Bernthal. That's not something a lot of people know about me.
He said, "Wait, who said this?"
The guy I was talking to.
The guy you were talking to. He said,
goes,
"I like John Bernthal.
That's not something a lot of people know about me."
Did you throw your drink in his face? Now, is this is not a friend of yours, right?
No, it's not a friend of mine. No,
This is just a random guy you were in a conversation
just
with.
a random guy I was in a conversation with. And why would anybody know that?
He said that like in all sincerity?
And also, he was being sincere. He goes, that's not something a lot of people know about. He's trying to open up to me, I guess. Why would anybody know that?
Trent, I'm worried about who you're associated with. I would have thrown my fucking coffee in his face and kept
That's
going.
not a phrase. That's not a phrase to be used about an actor you like who played the Punisher.
What? That's not
something not a lot of people know about me. That's
well,
like for
when you're
telling somebody you've sucked a cock in college or something. That's for opening up. Nobody cares what fucking actor you like. Who gives a fuck?
I would rather
Nobody should know that.
I would
not
much
even
rather
your closest confidant should know. You really like John Bernthal. Who gives a flying fuck? What are you, like John Bernthal or not? Couldn't think of anything I could care less about.
This is clearly such a specific thing that happened to you that's been griping you so hard. I couldn't imagine telling Sarah that I like John Bernthal, and that's something that a lot of people don't know about me.
Well,
And she would smile through and white knuckle it, but it would take like a year off our relationship. The same way, the same way that smoking like a pack of cigarettes takes a year off your life.
Yeah.
Like facts like that take like weeks and months off your relationship.
Right. You tell your girlfriend that, she goes, "This is not the guy I'm gonna marry."
Every time I go, you know what? I don't really like eggs over easy. It's like another month sooner.
Yeah, right.
And she leaves me.
Yeah, I know you're walking down the street.
She's cool with it now.
Right,
but
right. Yeah, you're walking down the street. You go, I get my hair cut there. She goes, she marks a month off.
There goes another month, dude.
There goes another month.
Down. I got like 3 weeks left. If I say another dumb fact.
Yeah. Every relationship starts off, they think you're going to spend the rest of your life with her. And then every fucking dumb thing you say, they mark another month off.
Fucking month after month off. Yeah, absolutely. Whittle it down to nothing.
So, so I really...
You should have told that guy to get fucked. It's like
it's like every fiber of my being not to. Here's what I get. I go, yeah? And that's it. I didn't add anything to the conversation.
It's like when people talk about if a hot dog's a sandwich or not.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I looked up the answer. It's actually who gives a fuck. Get a fucking life.
I'd like to stab you in the fucking eye.
Well, let's dive into the story, shall we?
Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm amped up.
You're fucking amped. You're juiced. You're ready to go.
I got that. I finally got that off my chest.
You really
I had nobody to talk to about it.
John Bernthal. It's hard to tell a story like that.
It's hard to tell a story like that.
Because then you kind of just sound like the guy talking about John Bernthal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's hard to bring up. So I go, why not? I'll tell it on the pod. It's my only release.
That's my only thing. Stopping Trent from going on a fucking rampage. He's gonna go fucking postal if it's not for the pod.
I'll be the fucking Punisher. How do you like that?
Well, every time you tell me a story like that, it takes a month off the podcast. All right. Well, this is from the Wall Street Journal, Trent. No, not that Gaza. How U.S. baffled Mozambique. Gaza province. Dateline Gaza province. Mozambique. Not the Gaza Strip.
Not the Gaza Strip.
Not to be confused.
Yes, the most popular Gaza at this point in time.
According to President Trump, American taxpayers donated 3.3 billion condoms to Hamas, the U.S. designated terror group that governs the war-torn Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
The White House called it a preposterous waste.
Something he completely made up. It didn't happen at all.
Yeah, there weren't 3.3 billion condoms. What condoms there weren't for Hamas, and they didn't go to the Gaza Strip. They went to the Gaza province in Mozambique.
Something tells me Hamas. Now, listen, I don't want to disparage Hamas, but something tells me they're not practicing safe sex.
You know what I've always said about the whole conflict is let the best man win.
Let the best man win, yes. Something tells me they're not exactly practicing safe sex.
They're not practicing safe sex. We'll get into that.
U.S. condoms.
Yeah. They will actually touch on that in the end here. So, they went to Gaza province in Mozambique, where residents are surprised that the world's most powerful man mixed up the two Gazas and won't admit he's wrong.
Maybe the least surprising thing this guy's ever done.
Yeah, I know. Trump's decision just days after taking office to cut billions of dollars of U.S. Foreign assistance has sown confusion and concern among diplomats, charities, and many of the sick and poor who relied on the aid. All of a sudden, aid agencies don't know who they were allowed to help. In some instances, recipients don't know where or how they would get their next dose of life-saving medication. And listen, condoms I think useful. I don't know if I'd call them life-saving medication.
No.
But I guess for these folks they are, because the place is rattled with AIDS.
Is that right?
It says,
I couldn't point to Mozambique on a map.
Neither could I, but I would guess that it's rattled with AIDS.
Sure, I guess so, yeah.
The aid cuts have been big news in Mozambique, which has the third most HIV cases in the world.
Oh, wow.
So they need rubbers.
So it is life-saving.
It's life-saving. They need rubbers. The false account of U.S. aid agencies shipping condoms to the Gaza Strip came in a flurry of statements made by Trump and his de facto chief of government efficiency tech mogul Elon Musk, cunt, asshole, and a pig, as they sought to justify to the bone cuts in the U.S. foreign assistance in January and February. At first, White House press secretary dumb blonde whore said Trump's team had arrived just in time to stop $50 million from going out the door to fund condoms in Gaza.
These fucking retards. It's the same thing they did with it when he made that speech and he goes, "They're making the mice transgender."
Well, that's true. There's way too many trans mice. Now, if you're a person you want to transition, I have all the sympathy in the world, but I don't think mice.
But it was actually transgenic or whatever that means. They were doing research on but he saw the word trans and he go, oh, they're fucking cutting their cocks off. They're cutting their mouse cocks off.
After they were, so after a few days later, after the whole thing came out and they realized it was wrong, Trump doubled down on outrage.
Yeah.
Quote, think of it, he said, 100 million condoms, Hamas.
Jesus Christ.
At 3 cents for each condom, the going price aid agencies pay when they buy in bulk 100 million.
3 cents a condom.
Well, they buy in bulk.
Well, maybe I'll have to start buying.
Yeah. I mean, you blow through them, Trent. I mean, you utterly blow through them. You should start buying in bulk.
3 cents, quite the deal.
Well, you know how much $100 million worth could get you? 3 cents a condom.
If I could do math, I would know. But.
Well, it's 1,600 condoms for every man, woman, and child in the Gaza Strip.
Jesus Christ.
In the actual Gaza Strip, the Hamas official said the group didn't want condoms anyway.
Yeah. No. I don't. I'm with them.
I say no more condoms for anybody. That's what I told my girlfriend. I go, they're cutting funding.
I would use a condom, but they fucking sent them all to Hamas.
They sent them all to Hamas.
Blame
There's
Biden.
None left.
Blame Biden, honey. Anyway, do you want to do this or not? Anyway, Joe, this is from the Wall Street Journal. Headline, Drama Brews over Barista's Cup Doodles. At Starbucks.
Drawing swastikas? What are they doing this time?
At Starbucks, animals are out. Smiley faces are in.
Add that to the who gives a fuck list.
Yeah, I can't believe this. People wasted their time writing an article about this or any.
It's page one. Page one
of the Wall Street Journal. When Connor Ireland picked up his cold brew at a Starbucks in London, Ontario last month, he discovered a drawing of a sausage-shaped creature saying "nay," like a horse.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
No. Quote, why is there a salamander neighing at me? The 32-year-old truck driver posted on Reddit, where his query drew thousands of responses. I don't like that. I don't like when people post on Reddit. I don't like when people draw my cups.
Yeah.
I fear my baristas have reached mandatory cup message psychosis. Starbucks baristas are indulging their inner artist, drawing smiley faces, dogs, and other doodles on cups, and scribbling, quote, have a great day.
Here's the thing.
They aren't just in a good mood. They're following direct orders.
Have a fucking gun to their head.
Yeah.
Draw a whimsical character on the cold brew. So that dip spitting truck driver needs to be enchanted by a.
They're just following orders, Joe. They're
following
Goebbels.
They ran the Stanford prison experiment on these Starbucks workers.
Yeah, so it's all part of a brilliant idea by the new CEO, Brian Nickel.
I love this guy. I fucking absolutely love Brian Nickel.
The Seattle-based coffee chain this year instructed its cafe workers to write messages on every to-go cup possible across its 11,000 stores. As new CEO, Brian Nickel hopes to recapture the cozy coffee house vibe that built Starbucks into a global brand.
It's over. He's fucked.
He's fucked.
He's fucked. It's over.
Fucked beyond all belief. How about you put 2 chairs in there? Every time I go to a Starbucks now, you have to stand. You're forced to stand. They don't want anybody hanging out. But hey, thank God somebody drew a fucking dog on my coffee.
How about you open up the fucking bathrooms again?
Yeah, open up the bathrooms.
Yeah, I don't need a right shoe illustrated on my cold brew. I need a fucking wiggly puff. Let me take a dump in here and sit and work on my laptop.
Yeah, let me buy a fucking coffee that sucks cock. I went to Starbucks today because it was a beautiful day out, and I took a long lunch. And don't tell anybody that, but I went and I didn't want a coffee because it was about a hot day. So maybe a lemonade, perhaps a lemonade and an iced tea. I said.
Oh, an Palmer. An Arnie.
But they don't call that. Apparently, it's copywritten. They don't call it that. They call it black tea with lemonade.
Fucking venti avocado or some bullshit.
Grande venti.
Grande venti
black tea with lemonade. And I go, that sounds like a delightful treat on a hot day. And anyway, I took a sip of it and it absolutely sucked cock. So.
By the way, I went to a restaurant with Sarah a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we ordered 2 Arnold Palmers.
Yeah.
And the guy came back and he gave us 2 vodka lemonades. I started drinking it. It was awful. It's like vodka and lemonade.
Yeah.
And I was like really not trying to drink vodka tonight.
Yeah.
How can you do that? What if somebody's fucking
You
sober?
caused them to relapse.
What if somebody's in AA? Anyway,
Yeah.
back to Starbucks. Back to them fucking up
So
Starbucks.
anyway, the Sharpie edict went out earlier this year as part of a bigger overhaul at the world's largest coffee chain. New chairs and ceramic mugs are being deployed. Busted outlets are getting fixed for laptop touting cafe dwellers. The chain even brought back self-service condiment bars last fall, allowing customers to doctor their own drinks. Nickel believes the handwritten, personalized messages will ingratiate Starbucks with coffee drinkers and hark back to the company's past when many cups had customers' names written on them.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. My drink today didn't have jack shit written on it.
Oh, wait, really?
No, didn't have fucking anything. Our customers are surprised at how meaningful a little smiley face is, or have a good day, Nickel said. The guy makes the dummest quotes.
This guy's so out of touch. It's unreal.
He's never interacted
It's unreal.
with
That'll save
a person
Starbucks.
not worth $1 billion. 20 years.
You know what poor people need? They
Yeah.
need a smiley face.
They're having a bad day. Why don't you write on the cup, have a good day?
What could lift them up when they pay $7 for a cold brew?
They finally scrounge up enough change for a nice treat. Why don't you write, have a good day in black Sharpie?
Howdy doody.
He's received notes from some, including one woman in Arizona who bonded with a barista over their shared fondness for horses, which is
Christ.
absolutely insane. Could you imagine being so lonely in your life that you decided to write to the CEO of Starbucks about how you bonded with one of their CEOs? The policy unleashed some baristas' expressive side, yielding leaf.
You tell me baristas have an expressive side? They never stop fucking expressing.
Yeah, yielding leaf-laden trees, touting cats, and other creatures dancing across cups. But after a few months, Starbucks decided more order was needed, and the chain last month issued updated guidelines to U.S. stores. Well wishes, smiley faces, and references to seasonal promotions are in. Animals, slang, and pop culture references are out, according to a message to baristas viewed by the Wall Street Journal.
How does that help? How's a smiley face better than a dog?
I don't know, Joe. You have to write to Brian Nickel.
I can't get inside the mind of this business genius.
Yeah, so, quote, write a simple affirmation like you're amazing or you got this, Starbucks said.
No, it sucks.
So these baristas, they're
being creatively stifled.
They're being stifled. Exactly.
They're being stifled.
They first they were demanded, make something, draw something nice.
Yeah.
Be creative, express your creative side. You're a barista, you have a fucking septum piercing, you know how to draw. And then they were getting too out there. They go, rein it in.
Yeah, right. Rein it in.
Rein it in or it's your ass.
We're going back to traditionalism.
The drawings and messages aren't everyone's cup of tea. Jim Merritt, a 54-year-old investment officer from Palm Beach, Florida, is a regular smiley face recipient. Quote, it's okay, I guess, he said.
Well, a good thing we got the interview. Can you imagine turning that in as a journalist? I flew to Palm Beach, booked a flight down to Palm Beach, went up in a hotel, and I talked to this guy, and he says it's okay. He guesses.
He said, quote, it's okay, I guess. To keep orders moving, some baristas developed a hack, batched cup writing. So instead of each order, they have to fucking write something.
Why personalize it?
Yeah, so they do it all in the morning when they're rolling napkins and stuff. Anyway, so Richard Holnick, a 56-year-old events producer, said the bulk treatment underscores the inauthenticity of the whole idea. Quote, they're busy, I'm not friends with them, said Holnick, who lives in Manhattan. Starbucks isn't fond of the pre-made messages either. As part of its updated guidance, the company forbade baristas from proactively writing messages citing contamination concerns. So they can't fucking win. These poor baristas, they're trying to do their goddamn job.
They can't win. No, you got to slow down everything and write. Have it. You are valued. One at a time.
Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day. Here's a shit-eating smiley face.
That it don't fucking mean. I hate doing it.
Well, it's from the Wall Street Journal, Trent. Have fun at spring break, kids. I'll be right next door.
Oh, great.
Parents join teens to share the experience, monitor their drinking, and manage the sunscreen. Stone Saburn just got back from.
What?
That's a name.
Bullshit.
That's
Bullshit.
Stone Saburn. Stone Saburn just got back from
pretty sick name,
Riviera. It is pretty sick, yeah. They just got back from Mexico, where he and his friends spent a week partying on the beach in what was a prototypical spring break in every way except one. Mom and Dad were there. What gives? That's what I would say.
That's what I think. Oh, come on.
Every morning, the 18-year-old checked in with his parents, who were staying in the first-floor suite at the same hotel, to see what was on their schedule. On a few nights, he met them for dinner. Quote, "I want to be here as a parent knowing that my child is going to be drinking," said Alyssa Saburn of Commerce Township, Michigan. Well, you're not there when he drinks in Michigan. So what difference does it make?
Dangerous Mexico.
Dangerous Mexico. The water.
Don't drink the water.
Drink the water, but drink the alcohol.
What do they call that?
Montezuma's Revenge.
Montezuma's Revenge. Yeah.
Montezuma's Revenge, which seems like it's all he's known for at this point, is giving people diarrhea.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, whatever, all of his accomplishments have just been lost to time. He built like the Aztec Empire or whatever.
Yeah, built a big pyramid. It's not a pyramid.
We wiped it out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And now you get diarrhea.
Now he's known for diarrhea.
It's known for diarrhea.
You're the diarrhea guy.
Yeah.
Montezuma, the diarrhea guy.
They had like Lincoln's rebuke. You just couldn't get it up sometimes. You got Lincoln's rebuke over here. Well, anyway, these parents, I want to share the experience with my son. I go to an all adults only resort anytime. He's the reason we came. So some of the parents, they want to be down here with their kids to fucking
Club Med.
Well, one girl, high school girl, said she wasn't thrilled by the prospect of going to the Caribbean with 70 seniors. Or no, sorry, this is a mom. 70 seniors from her daughter's Sandy Springs, Georgia public school.
Oh, it's a mom, so different seniors.
Seniors.
Yes, I was picturing old, blue-haired men and women, but now it's young, strapping young men.
Young, beautiful,
strapping young men.
Angels. These are girls, Trent. These are young ladies.
I'm not interested.
Okay. Well, she wasn't thrilled about the trip, but all the moms are going. She said, "I fought it for a while." She recalls how her senior year spring break, when she and her friends stayed in a relative's apartment in Century Village, an infamous retirement community in South Florida. Of course I caved. I don't want to be the mom who says no. So, she bent to fucking peer pressure and she flew down with her. Yeah. Upon arriving, Kalish took out her laptop and found a shady spot.
Good message for the kid. Bend to peer pressure.
Yeah. One time when
everyone's doing it, I might as well do it.
One time when I was caught drinking in high school or something. Yeah. Well, I'm not really one to drink, but
no, you're not one. It's
not really
not the Joe I know.
I was caught drinking in high school, and my stepdad, who tried to do some level of parenting, but he didn't really know how.
Yeah.
He goes, "You shouldn't go to these parties. You should just have 1 or 2 drinks. You shouldn't be getting drunk or anything."
Yeah.
He's like, "That's not. You just go there and socialize. You don't need to get drunk." He's like, unless all your friends are doing it. Then I guess I don't know.
That's hilarious.
I said, "Well, thanks for the input."
Yeah.
Well, there's really not much of a story here. Moms are going with their parents to spring break. The end.
Didn't that always happen? I don't remember. I mean, if you're still in high school, who's let their kid go to spring break by themselves?
I feel like we went by ourselves and stuff.
In high school?
I don't remember ever going on spring break in high school, to be honest.
No, we were poor.
Yeah, I didn't have to. I couldn't fund it.
Yeah, we went to Orange Beach, Alabama. The family drove.
The rich kid, there would be like a group of rich, popular kids that would all go to like Cancun and fuck each other.
Yeah, and then fucking roofie their girls' drugs, girls' drinks. And
yeah,
stuff.
I dated a girl at a private school. She went to spring break with her friends and cheated on me, Trent.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
That's what women do.
I think spring break should be outlawed.
Yeah, you're back
no
home.
more spring break.
You're playing GameCube. She was fucking cheating on you.
Yeah.
Sucking a guy's cock.
Let's play fucking
Acapulco.
Let's play Pokemon Stadium. Playing Pokemon Stadium, eating flaming hot Cheetos.
You saved up half the year to buy Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, Pokemon Stadium.
She pickpockets mom and dad and goes down to Acapulco, sucks the guy's cock.
Yeah, I was eating fucking Cheeto Puffs, and she was getting her fucking pussy eaten. So. But that's what happens.
Wow. Well, good for them. That's what rich people do. Anyway, Joe, speaking of rich people and children and nefarious activity, this is from the Wall Street Journal. This is sort of a longer piece.
Bit of a deep dive here.
Deep dive, yes.
A personal human interest piece.
Yes. The headline, the tactics Elon Musk uses to manage his legion of babies.
Oh, legion of babies?
And their mothers.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, he's great at managing people, Trent.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of these guys, it gives me anxiety to think about having that many baby mamas. Like Tyreek Hill, he's got like 15 kids and like 9 baby mamas.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but it's chump change for the richest man in the world.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess. Ashley St. Clair wanted to prove that Elon Musk was the father of her newborn baby. But to ask the billionaire to take a paternity test, the right-wing social media influencer had to go through Musk's longtime fixer, Jared Birchall.
Hey, if you want to find out if I'm the dad, you got to go through Jared.
Talk to Birchall.
Dr. Birchall.
Sorry, Ashley St. Clair, the name of a porn star. Quote, I don't want my son to feel like he's a secret, St. Clair told Birchall in a 2-hour phone call in December. Birchall offered St. Clair some advice. His boss was a, quote, very big-hearted, kind, and generous person, he said. But Musk had a different side when a mother of his child goes the legal route.
Jesus Christ.
In these discussions, that always leads to a worse outcome for that woman than it would have been otherwise, Birchall said.
God, Jesus Christ. Terrifying.
Yeah.
God, what a monster.
Scumbag, pure scum. Plus, he said Musk wasn't sure the child was his.
Well, you're right. Isn't that the whole point, to get the paternity test?
That's why. That would be why you would take a paternity test to prove the child is yours, yes. It wasn't the first such conversation that Birchall had. His public job is running Musk's family office. He recently helped organize Musk's more than $250 million push in support of Donald Trump's election. Behind the scenes, Birchall also manages the financial and privacy deals Musk wants for the women raising the world's richest man babies. Musk has had at least 14 children with 4 women, including pop musician Grimes.
The dreaded Grimes.
Grimes, who I'd be hard-pressed to find anybody that could tell me a song that she sings. But she's always
I couldn't tell you.
labeled a musician. I've never heard any song. No, I only know her for having kids with Elon Musk.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know a single song. Did she do Somebody I Used to Know?
No. Joe, we all know that was Gautier.
Oh. Was she
I don't know.
She wasn't one of the Lumineers, was she?
I don't believe she was a Lumineer.
Okay.
She might have been one of the Magnetic Zeros.
I was going to ask you, who's one of the Magnetic Zeros, because I know there was Edward Sharp, but
Edward Sharp.
She was one of the.
We don't really know the other Magnetic Zeros. names.
We don't know all
just
the Magnetic
Edward
Zeros.
Sharp.
Yeah. So
maybe Grimes was a member of the Magnetic Zeros. And Siobhan Zillis. That's another of Elon Musk's wife, not wife, mother of his children.
Baby mamas.
Yeah. I don't like the phrase baby mama.
Oh, okay. Well,
but that's just that's just personal to me.
All right, fair enough.
An executive at his brain computer company Neuralink. So he had sex with an executive at his Neuralink, the thing where they put the chip in your brain. He had sex with an executive there. So, in case you didn't know that, now you do.
So, yeah.
So, there's nothing.
So, yeah, if you're looking to get your brain chipped, just keep in mind that he's plowing the executives there.
It's pretty incestuous. Multiple sources close to the tech entrepreneur
splattered chip
said they believe the true number of Musk children is much higher than 14. So, Musk offered
thousands.
It could be in the thousands. Musk offered St. Clair $15 million and $100,000 a month in support
to shut up and keep quiet
in exchange for her silence about the child, whom they named Romulus. Similar agreements have been negotiated with other
the kid's
mothers.
I mean, if its name's Romulus,
Musk's children. Birchall told Sinclair, "Yeah, this Romulus sucks.
It's fucked.
He's
His
fucked."
dad's Elon Musk. His name's Romulus.
Yeah. Musk's baby-making project is relevant to his ambition for NASA, which he wants to move faster to go to Mars, which he plans to rename Planet Musk. No, he doesn't.
No,
I just made that up. But I'm sure that's in the plans.
Yeah.
He said on X that making people multiplanetary is, quote, critical to ensuring the long-term survival of humanity and all life as we know it. And I don't think it's worth it. I think we should die. We should all die.
I just can't follow the logic there.
No, it's idiotic. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
What?
He's just he's a scumbag. I mean, that's
how can you terraform Mars but not stop the temperature from rising 3 degrees here?
I don't know. He's an idiot. Anybody who wants to go to Mars should be shot in the fucking head. I don't even care. Not even to colonize it. Just to go. Just to go and plant the American flag. If you think that's cool, you should be shot in the head.
No one should go.
No.
They should blow it up.
I would rather they blow up Mars.
They should blow it up.
To try to go. We should blow it up.
We should blow up every planet that's not ours in the solar system. Just forget about it.
Forget it. Yeah. And once life here is done, it's done. Fuck it.
How sick would it be just to shoot all of our nukes at a planet? Just blow it up.
Honestly, that would be pretty sick.
Or
shoot it into a black hole. See what happens.
Yeah, it'll come out the other side somewhere.
Yeah. And Musk's dark view of the world. Civilization is under threat because of a declining population. He is driven.
It's like a made-up problem.
Yeah, he is driven to correct. It's the opposite of a problem. It's the greatest thing that could ever happen. He is driven to correct the historic moment by helping seed the earth with more human beings of high intelligence, according to people familiar with the matter. The main objective, Musk refers to his offspring as a legion. A reference to the ancient military units that could contain thousands of soldiers and were key to extending the reach of the Roman Empire.
God, everything I hear about this guy makes my fucking skin crawl.
Yeah, he's the most
repulsive guy that ever lived.
Yeah. During St. Clair's... By the way, the Roman Empire... Remember when everybody was pretending to think about the Roman Empire? What the fuck was that about? Why do we just everyone lied about that? Yeah, absolutely insane.
No, never thought it. Don't think about it.
Couldn't care less. I'd rather talk about Daredevil. During St. Clair's pregnancy, Musk suggested that they bring in other women to have even more of their children faster. Quote, to reach legion level before the apocalypse, he said to St. Clair in a text message viewed by the Wall Street Journal.
Wait, he said this to one of his
He said this to Ashley St. Clair, the 26-year-old conservative influencer.
He knocked up one girl and then said...
He said, yeah, we should bring in more women.
What do you mean we should bring in... It's like it doesn't sound like she's involved.
Well, maybe he was trying to... I think maybe it sounds better coming from another lady to bring in...
But wait, this is one of the mothers of his kids?
Yeah. This is a 26-year-old conservative influencer who he knocked up.
Okay.
Who had a baby named Romulus.
Okay, she had Romulus.
And he's like, hey, we should bring in other people so we can sort of have a legion.
And she said, awesome.
This is the text he sent. To reach legion level before the apocalypse, we will need to use surrogates. so think about that.
God, that's a real... to reach legion level, before which I still don't really understand what that means.
Yeah, well, I don't either. He has recruited potential mothers on his social media platform X, according to some of the people. He's
recruiting mothers?
Yeah, on X. Formerly Twitter.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what threw me up. Yeah.
Virtual non-disclosure clauses are part of some of the payment agreements, and if the mothers push back or seek outside counsel, Musk advisors, including Birchall, have threatened financial retribution.
Right, they'll come after them with everything.
To the documents. Birchall described Musk's expectations to St. Clair. Quote, privacy and confidentiality is the top of the list in every aspect of life, every aspect. And his entire world is set up to be like a meritocracy. Benefits flow, he said, when people do good work.
Ugh.
Sickening.
Ugh. Just...
It's like...
it's the mother of your child.
It's a cartoon supervillain. The details of Musk's baby mission are only now starting to spill into the public. Grimes begged Musk in February for help on X when one of their children was having quote, medical crisis because Musk wouldn't engage with her. Earlier that month, after the 4-year-old son, also called X, had been on, maybe this is why he has trouble keeping in contact with his kids, because he gets them confused all the time with his website. They're all named X.
Yeah, they're all named like X and like SpaceX.
Yeah, Grok
and Neuralink.
Yeah. Had been his son, also called X, had been on television on his father's shoulders as he talked about government cuts in the Oval Office. Grimes posted that, quote, he should not be in public like this. It's because he's using his child as a human shield.
Yeah, exactly, to humanize him, because he's
to humanize him, sure, but also if he to prevent assassination attempts. He always keeps him on his shoulders.
Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's all I think about.
Well, brother, if I was going to do it, it wouldn't stop me.
Speaking to an audience at an investment conference in Saudi Arabia last year, Musk laid out the urgency of the matter. Quote, I think for most countries, they should view the birth rate as the single biggest problem they need to solve. If you don't make new humans, there's no humanity. And he knows a lot about lack of humanity. All the policies in the world don't matter, Musk told the crowd over a live video. When the interviewer joked that Musk was doing his part to address the issue, the billionaire agreed. Yes, I am. I mean, you've got to walk the talk, which is not a phrase.
Oh, God, that's so disgusting.
So I do have a lot of kids, and I encourage others to have lots of kids. Separately, Musk has said he is concerned about what he called third world countries having higher birth rates than the U.S. and Europe. A person familiar with the conversation said, one of the most important ways to change these dynamics, he has repeatedly told people close to him, is for educated people to have more children, which isn't racist at all.
All of that is so racist. Yeah. It's crazy.
In 2023, he had a meeting in Austin where people he described as Japanese officials asked him to be a sperm donor for a high-profile woman, according to a text message reviewed by the Journal. Quote, they want me to be a sperm donor. No romance or anything. Just sperm, he texted St. Clair. Musk later told her he gave his sperm to the person who asked for it without naming her. Vivian Wilson.
She doesn't even want like romance.
No romance.
No romance.
Just sperm. Just sperm.
Romance. Like, dude, you're not even gonna ever see that child or engage with it.
No
romance.
It's sickening.
This guy's a fucking monster and a pig.
Vivian Wilson, one of Musk's older children,
makes badass cars though. Dude. Say what you want about fart mode in the Tesla. Hilarious.
I mean, yeah, he may be evil, but he's one of the funniest guys in the world.
Dude, Doge.
And he's super cool.
To the moon.
Vivian Wilson, one of Musk's older children from his first wife, Justine Musk, said recently to Teen Vogue that she doesn't know how many half-siblings she has. Musk is now estranged from Vivian because he refuses to accept her identity as transgender. This coming from a guy who paid another guy to make him good at Diablo 4.
Oh my God!
Retard.
Paid a guy to play video games for him.
Yeah, so he's fine. I'll pretend to be good at Diablo 4. I won't accept my transgender kid.
He's a great guy,
asshole. Well, Musk posts sometimes dozens of times a day on X. This is referring to his Twitter, not his son, about right-wing politics or companies. Among other things on his mind, he often interacts with lesser-known users. He replies to them and sometimes interacts through direct messages, some of whom he eventually solicits to have his babies. So he's a reply guy.
He's a reply
guy. He's a fucking loser
on X.
He's a loser reply guy.
He's a loser reply guy. Would you like to have my babies?
Yeah. Cryptocurrency influencer Tiffany Fong, bitch, was covering disgraced crypto tycoon Sam Bankman-Fried's downfall when Musk started liking and replying to her posts. Musk interactions ramped up as Fong posted more political content in support of Trump, and Musk followed her last summer. That sort of attention from Musk on X, where he has 219 million followers, sent droves of followers to Fong, which was a financial boon. More engagement meant more earnings for her as part of a revenue-sharing program for creators on X. Wow. During the height of her interactions with the billionaire owner, Fong earned $21,000 on the platform in a 2-week period in November, according to a screenshot she posted. That was when Musk sent her a direct message asking if she was interested in having his child.
Really said it like that?
Yeah.
God, whatever happened to taking somebody out to dinner?
Yeah, you got the money.
To dinner or
take her to Nobu.
A cocktail? Maybe, fucking wine and dine.
A nice restaurant, take her to Nobu.
What about a walk in the park first?
Yeah,
fucking get to know you.
Yeah, before you ask, would you like to have my kid?
Like to fucking dump my fucking load in you raw?
Yeah, he sent her a direct message on Twitter. The two hadn't met in person. Fong didn't move forward with Musk because she pictured having children in a more traditional nuclear family. I confided to a few friends about the approach.
That's not exactly a nuclear family setup.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's exactly.
She goes, well, do you think you'd come home for dinner every night, or?
No, it's not exactly every little girl's dream.
One day, an oligarch will message you and ask to put a baby inside of you.
Yeah, on the social media platform you bought, so you could let people say the N-word. But so she didn't. She wanted to have a more traditional nuclear family.
What a bitch!
But confided to a few friends about the approach, including St. Clair, whom she knew as another conservative figure, and how she worried that turning him down could hurt her earnings on Twitter. She's making $21,000 in a 2-week
that'll
period.
go. That's kiss that goodbye. Honey.
Yeah. Once Musk learned that Fong disclosed the request to others, he chided her for not using discretion, according to the people, and unfollowed her. That contributed to a fall in her engagement, and her earnings declined.
Not her earnings.
Yeah, it's exactly what she thought. I think the worst part is he unfollowed her. That really hurts.
Yeah, I mean, guy can't handle rejection. I mean, unfollowing someone's maybe one of the lowest things you could do.
Maybe mute her.
Yeah, to mute. The mute option's right there.
Yeah. While Musk was in Pennsylvania canvassing for Trump before the election, Musk sent a series of texts about the urgency of winning the state to St. Clair. Quote, in all of history, there has never been a competitive army composed of women. Not even once, he wrote. Men are made for war, real men anyway.
Oh my good God.
He followed up
fucking
with,
loser
I am
asshole.
in full war mode. Going to the front lines today. Must win, PA. Fucking.
Oh my God.
It's the biggest loser of all time. It's insane.
I'm having my guy fucking play Diablo from dusk until dawn tonight. I'm going to be out there in Pennsylvania trucking Amish guys to the voting booth. And my guy Anthony's not going to stop playing Diablo 4. He's not going to have pizzas shipped to him. He's going to piss in a bucket. We're in war mode. This is what real men look like.
It's the biggest loser of all time. It's insane. Musk often has Burchell step in to handle negotiations with the women over arrangements for the pregnancy and financial support after. The arrangements play out in similar ways for different women, according to a document and people familiar with the matter. Burchell was involved in acquiring the property for a compound in Austin where Musk imagined the women and his growing number of babies would all live among multiple residences.
So a harem. So he's trying to put together a harem.
It's 100% a harem.
In Austin.
In Austin. Awesome. The sickest place in the world, according to a person.
Grimes must be stoked to move in there.
Yeah, she can make her beats or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, does she have like a little studio?
I'm sure you can get her a studio.
A couple six strings.
Yeah. It was the summer of 65. He is involved in other property deals across Musk's different businesses. Zillis, who was one of his mothers, lives in the gated community with their children, and Musk comes and goes. He comes a lot, apparently. Musk also
mostly comes.
Musk also attempted to get Grimes to move to the compound, but she refused. Similarly, he tried to get St. Clair to spend some time in Austin, quote, with our kid Legion, according to a text he sent her.
Oh, God.
That's how he talks about.
So what are
his
all the
children.
kids down there? Or no, they're all with their separate moms.
They're all, but some are. This is the Zillis. She's in.
Oh, Zillis is there with her kids.
Yeah. Birchall said on a December call with St. Clair, the NDAs are necessary. Quote, we have been through way too many issues where to not sign some agreement associated with handing over $15+ million is absolutely insane and irresponsible. And because we have dealt with some very unstable, mentally unstable people that all of a sudden misremember things, he said.
It's like it's so crazy to just call these women mentally unstable when what you're putting them through is like the craziest thing in the world.
Right, the craziest request ever. How about you live in a compound with every other woman I've had sex
By the way,
with.
I'm not talking to any of your kids that are my kids.
They're my kids. And they're
Legion, capital
They're my
L.
Legion, and
They're
I'm their
my
leader. So I'm not really their father. I'm their leader.
I'm Caesar.
Yeah. He added that his boss cannot allow people to just go and share his life information. He's the biggest lightning rod on the entire planet.
God, that sucks.
Yeah, and I hope he gets struck by lightning. When Birchall told St. Clair that other mothers signed similar secrecy agreements, she observed that they didn't seem happy. Zillis, Birchall said, quote, goes in and out of finding contentment, but Grimes wasn't ever going to find true happiness.
Oh, my God.
So the person that lives there, one of them, Zillis, she goes in and out of finding contentment. That's what his fixer said to try to convince the other lady.
It's like somebody who's drugged out, going in and out of finding
But
contentment.
Grimes, she was never going to be happy.
But this she can go in and out of contentment down there.
After becoming
This is like a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, it's yeah. After becoming pregnant with their son, St. Clair and Musk relationship progressed, with Musk sending her flowers on her birthday and Mother's Day.
Well, that's very thoughtful.
That's nice. Yeah, that's really nice. So he's not all bad. St. Clair's toddler from a prior relationship had play dates
Had been put down.
with Musk's young children.
That's not part of the Legion. Not part of the Legion. Drown it. Drown it in the tub.
So he's actually not
done
not
breathing?
official Legion. So
Here's some flowers, honey.
And she and the toddler met Musk's mother, May, in November. Musk responded to a selfie she texted him saying, quote, I want to knock you up again. So he's just a romantic.
He's a helpless romantic.
He's a helpless romantic.
That's what it sounds like.
While she was pregnant, Musk had urged her to deliver the baby via C-section and told her he didn't want the child to be circumcised. Musk has posted on X that the vaginal births limit brain size and that C-sections allow for larger brains.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Which probably is not true.
Well, I agree, and that's what we're going to do as well.
St. Clair is Jewish, and circumcisions are an important ritual in the religion, and she decided against a C-section. He told her she should have 10 babies, and they debated the child's middle name. Well,
what a conversation that was. You should have 10 babies. By the way, what were you thinking on middle name? Sorry, what did you say before the middle name question?
When she was in the hospital being induced for labor in September, Birchall texted her about leaving Musk's name off the birth certificate, according to text viewed by the Journal, shortly before she had hired an attorney, something Birchall had warned her not to do.
No lawyers.
Got it?
Play ball.
She complied with the request to not name Musk on the birth certificate. Not long after the birth, Birchall pushed St. Clair to sign documents keeping the father of the baby and details regarding her relationship with Musk secret in return for financial support. The offer is a one-time fee of $15 million for a home and living expenses, plus an additional $100,000 a month until the baby turned 21. Musk told her by text it was dangerous to reveal his relationship to the baby, describing himself as, quote, the number 2 after Trump for assassination. He added, only the paranoid survive. Which is a great way to live. I mean, you're the
great way to
richest
go through
man
life.
in the world.
You also didn't have to put yourself in this position.
Yeah, you didn't have to do any of this. You're the richest man. You don't have to be in the spotlight at all. You could be your own private island,
cool,
multiple
nerdy
private islands. You don't even have to ever go into the public.
6 years ago, he was like a beloved autistic nerd. I mean, obviously, you probably. I mean, I didn't love him, but like, I'm just saying,
If you're
people. People were like, he's a cool tech nerd.
Right, exactly. People really didn't think about him.
Now he's the number one fucking assassination target.
Yeah, he's number one.
Number two. He's my number one.
Yeah, number one in my book. We're getting locked up.
We're in jest. Speaking in jest, obviously. Nothing we say is serious.
Yeah. You think they'll let us record the podcast from El Salvador?
I don't know.
But she didn't sign. The deal prevented her from speaking about Musk in relation to the child or disparaging him, but didn't bar Musk from speaking negatively about her. St. Clair would have to pay back the $15 million if she broke the deal. One of the main sticking points, she said, was that it would make her son feel illegitimate. The agreement didn't provide support for their child if he became gravely ill, or a trust fund or life insurance if Musk died before the child turned 21. A few times, St. Clair tried to hash things out with the billionaire, but she said he ignored her text. In February,
That's odd.
Yeah. In February, when she learned of a tabloid preparing a story about their relationship, she decided to front-run it and posted about it on X, making everything public for the first time. Quote, 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father, she wrote. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy and safety, but in recent days it has become clear that tabloid media intends to do so, regardless of the harm it will cause. 4 days after the post, Musk eliminated the $15 million fee offer. Then, as they went to court to discuss paternity testing and Musk's request for a gag order, he lowered the financial offer.
Gag order.
He lowered the financial offer further, dropping her support to $40,000 a month, just as her legal fees were set to balloon in the fight. So it was going to be $100,000. He dropped that to $40,000 after she refused to comply.
Right.
On Thursday, the Journal contacted Musk for a comment for this article. On Friday, St. Clair didn't receive her scheduled child support payment from Musk, she said. Late on Tuesday, she said Musk's team sent her $20,000, halving her stipend again. Quote, the timing of the reduction in payments from him are timed with disagreements on testing and gag orders. The only conclusion we can make is that money is being weaponized, said Dror Beekle, another of St. Clair's attorneys. St. Clair's legal fees have exceeded $240,000.
That's funny. The lawyer says money is being weaponized. Yeah, and he's charging her $240,000.
She owes us a lot.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
The case is working.
Could have done this one pro bono.
The case is working its way through the New York Supreme Court, which ordered that Musk take the paternity test. On Friday, the results came back. A report from LabCorp stated the probability of paternity was 99.9999%.
So it may not be.
Yeah, there's a 0.000.
So all that's for naught.
Yeah, well, you may never know.
Sounds inconclusive. Wow. Well, that was fascinating.
Yeah.
That was fascinating. I guess I hope she wins. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. She's probably like a awful person too.
She is an awful person.
Yeah. So I guess I hope they all fucking lose everything. But we can hope and dream.
I guess if you're choosing the lesser of two evils, which we often force to
on this podcast, especially very often choosing the lesser of two evils.
I guess we're rooting for Ashley St. Clair.
Yeah, the conservative think tank, whatever the protege.
Yeah.
Well. Speaking of conservative protege, what happens after the death of a pope?
Oh, yes.
My guess, probably fucking alt-right guys coming back in. Because Francis was like cool with the gays and with the environment.
Yeah.
He's probably out the window.
His last statement, I believe, was pro-Palestinian or something.
Yeah,
they did not like that.
And then Vance flew out there and fucking shot him in the head.
He had a fucking poison on his hand.
Yeah. Fucking E. coli all over his hands. He'd slowly been growing a resistance to. Well, what does happen after the death of a pope?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of drama, according to Conclave.
According to Conclave, which I plan to stream this evening.
It's a good film.
Filmically, I've heard that it's quite robust.
I would put that on Mabry's movies must-sees.
Mabry's movies must-see, so I'm going to must-see it tonight. Well, this is more from an actual just nuts and bolts. I mean,
Sure.
forget all the politicking, but some of this I did not know. Maybe they covered it in conclave, and if so, I'll wad this piece of paper up and we'll conclude the podcast.
Yeah.
But the Vatican is beginning the elaborate sequence of events for mourning, burying, and choosing the successor to Pope Francis. On Monday evening, some 12 hours after the Pope died, the Vatican's Camerlegio, I don't know how to say it. I can't speak Italian.
Some Italian.
Some fucking Italian bullshit. Was due to ceremonially certify the pontiff's passing. By tradition, that individual, American Cardinal Kevin Farrell, will call out the late Pope's baptismal name, Jorge Mario.
Jorge Mario.
3 times.
I didn't know that.
Or maybe it's Jorge Mario. It's Jorg Mario. 3 times. On receiving no response, he will declare that the Holy See is vacant.
Yes.
Is that in the conclave?
Yes.
They call out the name 3 times and wait.
I think so. Yeah.
They know he's dead.
But it's ritual. Sorry, Joe. It's ritual.
Jorge Mario. Jorge Mario. We're close. We're so close.
What if he did? What if he did?
All right, so all this is probably...
It's all in conclave, and I'm sure all of our listeners watch conclave.
They all saw Conclave. Never mind. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm an asshole and an idiot. But you know, honestly, the Musk story was honestly the one you want to close with.
That is the one.
I want to go into the fucking litigious process.
No, we don't want to hear that. I'll just watch Conclave. Yeah, that's the story. So that's it. That about wraps it up.
I thought it was funny to say his name.
No, it is funny.
3 times
That is
and nobody
funny.
responds.
That is funny. Yeah.
I guess it's in
the whole thing is funny.
Conclave.
The whole thing is funny.
It's hilarious.
It's all their silly little rituals that they have to do. It's really funny. They have to, when they vote, they have to put it on a little silver plate, and then they have to tip it into the voting thing. It's all silly stuff that some guy was like, "Hey, why don't we do this?"
It takes like 30 weeks. It's like forever.
Yeah. And then they have these like special. Like, you buy them at the fucking fireworks store for the white smoke and the black smoke.
Yeah. And I love the way they talk about these cardinals that are, like, possibly going to succeed Pope Francis.
Yeah.
Because they're like, all eyes on Milerici Noci, the cardinal.
He's like a fucking NFL draft.
Yeah. They're like, he's charismatic, he's young. And he's like a curmudgeon, he's 75-year-old guy. He looks like a fucking... I was like, that guy's charismatic and young? He's like...
Yeah,
just some fucking old, crusty ass 70-year-old.
Right. They make him run the Pope Combine.
And it's fun. I was texting Alon about this. Alon Elion, friend of the show, welcome anytime. And he was joking about how like most of them are like there's all these Europeans, these old guys, but then there's cardinals everywhere. So there's like one from Minnesota. He's just there. He's like, I think it should maybe be like this guy.
Yeah, there's like
it's a bizarre like.
I'd like to get maybe an African guy in there.
They were talking about it. I think they might. I think there might be one.
I saw one of these. There's a picture of an African guy.
Well, that wraps up the pod this week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Keep your eyes peeled on the next Pope. Might be an African guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm rooting for.
That's what I'm rooting for, too. He's got our support. As always, this is Joe Nunnink signing out.
This is Trent Mabry signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.